A study from the University of Georgia suggests that people across the United States are volunteering less. Rebecca Nesbitt is a professor at the UGA School of Public and International Affairs and was a researcher on this project and joins us now to talk about this. Rebecca, good morning and thanks for being here. So why are fewer people volunteering? What did you find?
So our study, we looked at how economic conditions shape volunteering, and we had three big takeaways. One is economic decline and disadvantage dampen volunteering, which isn't too surprising because it does take some resources to volunteer. Another thing we found is that the recession dampened volunteering overall, but it had the strongest dampening effect on communities that had the previously the highest economic growth. So they kind of hunkered down and withdrew from volunteering. And we also found that differences between rural and urban places disappeared. So rural places used to have higher volunteering rates, but after the recession, they had almost the same volunteering rates as urban places.
So who is feeling the impact of this the most and what does that look like?
Yeah, so certainly rural communities are feeling a big impact here. They've lost the most volunteers relative to urban places in the last, 2 decades, and so they're certainly feeling the pain.
And look, going forward, what is your concern about that, or should people be concerned about that? What does that mean, kind of on the ground when you come to community-based organizations who rely on volunteers? Talk just kind of about, the people who are suffering with those efforts not being up and running.
Yeah, it has big impacts. Certainly, these nonprofits and community organizations that are doing the work that they're doing, they struggle. I mean, almost every organization I talk to struggles with recruiting enough volunteers to help them with the work that they want to do. Even government agencies use volunteers, and they're not being able to get the volunteers that they need. And really, everyone in the community suffers from that. If we're not kind of meeting the needs of our neighbors and helping each other out through these organizations, that kind of dampens the whole community. It brings us all down.
Sure. I mean, I can't tell you how many organizations we're always highlighting here, talking about, the work that they do. They rely on volunteers to come out for sure. So this trend that you're seeing, is it getting worse? Is it staying the same? And, kind of what does the future look like, do you think?
Yeah, it's a little tricky because we had those effects from the recession, and then we also had the pandemic, which dampened volunteering again. And many nonprofits say that their volunteer pools haven't bounced back since then. So we are still kind of in a tenuous time, I'd say, for volunteering, and the future's a bit uncertain. Especially with kind of bringing together this already a decline in volunteering, and then economic uncertainty and social unrest. All of these things are a recipe for further dampening of volunteering. So I think unless community leaders and people in communities just stand up and decide, hey, we want more volunteers, we want to work together, we want to make our community a better place, we're not going to see those increases in volunteering. So we really need people just to want to contribute to their communities.
Yeah, and maybe listening to this interview will do it for some folks this morning, get them up and out on their Saturday to sign up. Rebecca Nesbitt, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.